In response to the region's need for new, reliable, clean energy, Northern Pass, a partnership between Eversource and Hydro-Quebec, will deliver clean, renewable hydroelectric power to New England, stabilizing and lowering energy costs while reducing greenhouse gas emissions and creating thousands of construction jobs for the region. As older power plants close or are at risk of retiring, New Hampshire needs new sources of clean energy to lower the region's energy costs. Northern Pass can deliver what no other proposed hydro project in the region can: power flowing into the New England grid by the end of 2020. Northern Pass is a mature, shovel-ready project, with permitting on both sides of the border coming to a close, major contractors hired, and construction ready to begin in the spring of 2018. In fact, job and supplier fairs for the thousands of opportunities that will come over the construction period have already begun. With an unmatched commitment to hiring local workers first, Northern Pass has finalized a project labor agreement with the IBEW to guarantee New Hampshire workers are given hiring priority. In addition to helping solve the region's energy needs, Northern Pass is also a major investment in New Hampshire's residents, businesses, and communities. With support across New Hampshire from state leadership to residents and businesses from Nashua to the North Country, Northern Pass is ready to help New Hampshire in leading the way to a clean energy future for New England.
Do we need to look at Northern Pass? You bet we do. 1,100 megawatts of clean, renewable energy? How do we say no to that when we have the highest energy rates in the country? We can help ratepayers.
We have some of the largest sources of renewable energy not very far from us, to our north.
This is clean energy coming into the state that we desperately need, with all the fossil fuel plants in the area that are being shut down.
Here's an opportunity with Northern Pass where a tremendous amount of capacity will be generated by hydro, which is a renewable resource, and the project is not dependent on subsidies. The project is self-supportive.
It allows us to point to the fact that we're using clean hydropower to power our facilities as opposed to fossil fuels.
I think clean energy is what New Hampshire has been looking for, and hydropower provides that.
This project is a real shot in the arm to the young workers of New Hampshire.
One of the things that we look forward to on Northern Pass is training the younger worker that we need for the future, because we have so many that are over the age of 50 and will be leaving the trade within 10 to 15 years.
They're going to have access into an apprenticeship program. It's about a $50,000 education that they're going to get. It's a real learn, work program. But when you graduate, you will be a trained electrician and a trained lineman, and you'll have that trade for the rest of your life. It's not just a temporary job.
The construction part of this project is huge for the North Country. I mean, you're talking 3 to 4 years of direct work for us.
It's one of the only projects that has committed to using local labor, people from New Hampshire, to build the project in New Hampshire.
One of the challenges we still hear from businesses that are looking to relocate or expand to New Hampshire and really the Northeast is energy costs, particularly when it comes to manufacturing companies that rely on stable, secure, low-cost sources of power.
I think the best thing about Northern Pass is clean, reliable, sustainable energy that helps our businesses be able to focus on what they do best, which is run a business, instead of having to focus on their energy bills. The state needs to address its overall energy infrastructure in order to continue to be successful from a business perspective. That's not a squishy thing. That is absolute fact.
I think one of the biggest things that I can think of is the revenue that this line will produce to the township, which is millions of dollars, not only to the towns, the county, and the state of New Hampshire.
That's huge. That's a game changer for communities that haven't been able to do what they needed to do within their community over the past 10 years because the revenue hasn't been there.
It is a game changer for the city of Franklin. This is going to be the largest infrastructure project our city has ever seen. It means we can invest in infrastructure, schools, our police, our fire, all of those things. It is good for our environment. It's renewable energy, it's sustainable energy, it's hydropower, it's zero carbon emission power. And most importantly, it's baseline power. So it doesn't mean the wind has to blow or the sun has to shine. We get power from hydro 24/7, and that's probably the most important of the Northern Pass project.
Well, I think it's important people understand that to support this project means we're supporting low-cost electricity that's clean for the state of New Hampshire, and I support that.
I support Northern Pass because the opportunities it provides business leaders and business owners of clean, sustainable, renewable energy open up the doors for all kinds of innovation.
I'm in favor of Northern Pass for the good of the economy and the environment.
I support Northern Pass for the future of New Hampshire and the future of the New Hampshire electrical workers.
Everything about this project makes sense. The upside is tremendous.
When I think about what options are out there to make a measurable impact in our energy challenges, it's hard to think of a better solution than a project like Northern Pass.
I've spent my whole life living in New Hampshire, and I certainly believe this project will ensure that my daughter can live in this state. So I look forward to working with Northern Pass.